What's going on, family? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, family? How y'all doing? This is my first live, y'all. I wanted to check in with y'all real quick because I had a trigger over the weekend that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm just waiting for a few more people to get in. If not, then I'm going to just roll with it. I wish I could see who was on. I see one person on, but I can't see who that is. Hey, type in the comments, let me know who that is. This is my first live, so I don't really know how to work it, but I see it's one person on. All right, so we 3 minutes into it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So over the weekend, I was doing we were doing the drop off for my son. She was actually coming to pick him up from my house. So what ended up happening was when she dropped my son off to me, she he had a particular hat on, like one of those Eskimo hats on. And okay, it was kind of cold. It was kind of chilly when she dropped him off, and that's fine and everything. So when she dropped him off, I noticed that the hat was like dirty as shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it hadn't been washed since last winter sometime. So what I ended up doing was I took the hat, I washed it, and as I'm sending him home back to her, she I I took the hat. It was still kind of damp. Like when I took the hat out, when I took the hat to wash it, it was still a little damp from the wash machine. And when she came over to pick him up, she was looking for the hat. So she's like going crazy, just completely like, so where's the hat? Where's the hat? Like, so she pulled up to the house. When she pulled up to my house, I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, just regular exchange for the child. But what ended up happening was she just completely flipped out about this particular hat that she put the hat on him and she sent him over to my house on Friday. Okay, I get him, and as I get him, I'm like, okay, I see the hat on him. It's fine. It's no problem. It's not a big deal or whatever the case may be. But when what ended up happening was, like I said, the hat was dirty. So me trying to be a good father, me trying to be, helpful in the situation, and I normally would jump in her shit about it, like, why would you send him over here in dirty clothes and this, that, and the third, and all of that kind of stuff. But knowing that now I'm dealing with a narcissist and all of that kind of stuff, I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna go back and forth with him. I'm just gonna wash the hat and I'm gonna stick it back in his bag. She came to pick him up Sunday, and upon her picking him up, he didn't have the hat on. I sent him home in a hoodie and a big bubble coat. So he was warm. He had a hoodie, and then the bubble coat had a hood on it as well. So it wasn't like he, went home and didn't have any coverage, or it wasn't warm or any of that kind of stuff. But the hat, basically, I took it and I stuck it in the bag. After I washed it because it was dirty. She sent it over here dirty. And I washed it, just trying to be a helpful parent, a good parent on my part. Now, she pulls up. When she pulls up, she jumps out of the car and she's like, "Hey," and she's talking to the baby though. She's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up, baby? It's good to see you. Where's your hat?" She's talking to the baby though. Now, of course, I'm going gray rock right now because after learning about narcissism, now I'm not really giving her no energy. Now I'm not like interacting with her. Whenever she wants to talk, I'm like, I'm walking away from it. I'm like, I don't want no energy from her at all. So basically what happens is she jumps out of the car and she walks up to our son and she's looking at our son and she's like, "Hey, where's your hat? Oh my God, da 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 da." She's like playing with him and she's talking to him and she's like, "Where's your hat?" And I'm like, I'm just standing there and I'm kind of looking at her because she's talking to him. Now, mind you, my son, he's not gonna, answer for himself, or he might, you know what I'm saying? Like he's starting to talk a little bit, so he may have actually answered. But when she said, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Jessica? How are you?" Basically, I was just tapping in with you guys real quick because I had a major trigger Sunday, and I just wanted to tap in with the family and tell you guys about what happened and give you a little bit of insight of how a narcissist likes to play certain particular games or whatever. So basically in this situation, I was explaining that my son came over Friday. My child's mother sent him over with a particular hat on because it was pretty chilly on Friday. When she got here, the hat was completely dirty. The hat was dirty as shit. Like I saw stains and everything on it. So when I saw it, just me being a good parent, me trying to, actually be helpful. Because normally I would, like I said, jump on her ass about it. Like, "Man, why would you send him over here with a dirty hat on? Like, why would you even do that?" Like, I would normally, do that. But instead of me doing that, I said, "You know what? I'm going to just wash it. I'm going to stick it back in the bag." Now, I had planned on washing it and putting it back on his head on Sunday. But she got here a little bit too fast before I got a chance to actually dry it all the way. So it was still a little bit damp. So what I did was I took it out of the bag. She pulled up and I stuck it in his bag. But I put a hoodie on him and I put a bubble coat on him, so that when he was leaving, he would be warm. He would have some type of coverage that he was warm. So me still being a good parent, trying to be there for my son and all of that kind of stuff, that's kind of, what I was trying to do. And I didn't want to get into an argument with her at all about the situation. So I ended up just washing the hat, sticking it back in the bag, packed all his stuff up, all his toys, all his clothes, everything up. And I walked him out to the car when she pulled up. Now, when she pulls up, the first thing she just yells out, she's like, "Hey," you know what I'm saying? She's playing with the baby and she's like, "Hey, where's your hat? Da 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 da." And she's talking to the baby. So I just kind of ignore her because, like I said, I'm in that gray rock mode right now. I'm not really trying to interact with her I'm trying to interact with her as least as possible. So I don't want, any extra conversation or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, passing the baby off to her, passing the bag off to her, And so she looks at me and she's like, "So where's his hat?" Now, she's been giving me the silent treatment for months, years, like since 2019 on big shit, like on real big stuff. So I'm looking at the situation and I'm like, "So now you want to be a parent? Like this is, 2 years, our son is almost 2 years old. And now you want to be a parent. Now you want to be, now you want to communicate. Now you want to talk about things. So that's what I'm thinking in my head, but I didn't actually say that. So I let her kind of just do her thing. It is what it is. And so she's going off and she's like, where's this hat? Da 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 da. And she's screaming. She's like to the top of her lungs right outside of my house. And my neighbors are outside. Like a few of my neighbors are outside. My neighbor across the street is outside. My neighbor next door is outside. And my neighbor on the right side of me, they were outside as well. So she's screaming to the top of her lungs just about a hat. Like, and the hat was in the bag the whole time. Like I had washed the hat. I had done everything responsibly as far as a parent. I cleaned the hat, washed the hat, stuck it in the bag, sent it off to her, put a hoodie on him so he would be warm, even though he didn't have the hat on his head. So she's going over, she's like, where's the hat? Where's the hat? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I'm looking at her. I'm not responding because, like I said, I'm going gray rock. I'm really trying not to interact with her at all. So I'm kind of giving her the silent treatment back. So she's talking, she's like, hello, parenting. And I'm like, parenting? I'm like, wow, like you want to talk about parenting now after you haven't done anything as far as being a co-parent since he was born. Like he's almost 2 years old now. So you haven't done absolutely anything at all to be a co-parent, work with me, be a teammate, any of that kind of stuff. So I'm literally looking at her like, seriously? And she's like, hello, parenting, like, communication. And she's like yelling out communication, like you need to talk to me, da 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 da. And I just like sat there and I still didn't say anything. I held my water. I just, was giving her the silent treatment right back, like how she had been doing me for the last year and a half. I had been giving that silent treatment right back. So she goes off and she's like, just because you didn't buy it, just because you didn't pay for it, doesn't mean that you could be careless with the things that I buy him and the things that I put on him and the things that I send over here. You're just being careless. And now, again, the whole time, I washed it. I stuck it in the bag. It's in the bag. All she had to do was open the bag and just see, oh, here's the hat. But narcissists and narcissistic rage, they just go completely off. Like and she just lost her mind. And so I'm not gonna lie, it took everything in me not to respond to it. I wanted to respond. I wanted to cuss her out. I wanted to just get back, but I just kept remembering God, like, vengeance is mine. You know what I'm saying? Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I really was, struggling at that point. Like I really wanted to respond. I wanted to be like, well, hold on. You're a whole psychopath. Like you're a whole sociopath. You have, all of these different types of issues, and you're trying to tell me how to be a parent. Like I really wanted to, kind of express that, but I just held my water and I kind of walked away. Now, as I walked away, this is the point of this video is she's been giving me the silent treatment since 2019, basically when we found out, literally the day that we found out that she was pregnant, just like that, like they say that light switch go off, just like that. Listen, the day that we found out she was pregnant, she told me about the pregnancy and all of that kind of stuff. Hang on. They pretend they can't remember exactly. Exactly. They absolutely do that. But basically what ended up happening was she, like, literally the day that she got pregnant, we found out that she got pregnant. Let me tell you how trifling this was, y'all. She invites me to dinner. She goes to the bathroom while we're at dinner. She pees on the stick while we're at dinner. She comes back to the dinner table with the stick and she's like, boom, and she drops it on the table. At the dinner table, that's how trifling they are. She just pissed on a stick. She walked back to the table and she dropped and she dropped the pissy stick on the table, and that's how I found out that she was pregnant. And after she told me she was pregnant, I'm like, you know, because we had discussed not getting pregnant, and that it wasn't a good time for her to be pregnant and all of that kind of stuff. We had discussed that for months and months and months ahead of time, and she was basically baiting me into the situation, telling me, "Oh no, I'm not trying to get pregnant. Oh no, no, no." Now, mind you, this is a 40-year-old woman. I'm 39 myself, and I've known her since like a little child, like when we were 5, 6 years old. So I didn't think that somebody was lying, or like when we basically set our plans as far as life goes, and we talked about, well, us bringing kids into the world, into the situation the way that it is. When we talked about that kind of stuff, she was very agreeing to me. She's like, well, nah, I agree. Like, we're not in a full-fledged, fully committed relationship or any of that kind of stuff. So bringing kids into the situation would be bad. And I'm like, yeah, I want my family to be together. I want my children to be in one household, because I grew up in a split household. And with me growing up in a split household, all I ever wanted was my family to be together. I wanted my child to be in one household. I wanted to raise my son from, I didn't want to be a weekend dad. Basically, that's really what I really didn't want to be a weekend father. I didn't want to be, and that's basically what the situation forced me into. Like, this entire situation, it kind of forced me into being a weekend dad, which all my life, like since I was a little child, I grew up like that. I grew up with having to go to my father's house on the weekends, and having to, see my father on, during the summer times, on summer breaks, or, whatever, spring break. I may go spend some time with my father on spring break and all of that kind of stuff. But I actually wanted to raise my son in my household, and I worked very hard to provide for myself and to have a household to take care of my family and all of that kind of stuff. But I met this young lady, ended up getting her pregnant, and it literally, like I said, the day that she got pregnant, boom. Like, a narcissist, once they feel like they got you trapped, once they feel like they got you in their pocket, they, boom, they going on to their next victim. So that's what ended up happening in my case. The day that we found out she was pregnant, after she pissed on the stick and brought it back to the table, and she was like, yeah, yeah, I'm pregnant. Literally the next day, we having a conversation, and I asked her to move in with me. I was like, listen, you pregnant now. I got a place. You're always here. Like, she was literally always at my house, always with me up until the day she got pregnant. Right after she got pregnant, she's like, you know what? I'm cool. I don't need no nigga. I'm sorry, YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But basically that's I don't need no dude. I don't need to be with you. I don't need no argument, there was no beef, no nothing. She literally just flipped the script the day after she got pregnant. Boom. Just like that. And it was like, she literally was like, oh, I don't need no dude. I'm just like my mother. That's when I started realizing, okay, it's not just her. This is a whole family of, this is like a whole, family of toxic people, basically. So she's basically telling me, oh, I'm just like my mother. I don't need you. I don't need to be with you. I don't need to be da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. Like, she really, hang on one second. I'm trying to read y'all comments at the same time. Hang on one second, y'all. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read some of y'all comments real quick. They can't see their own reflection. Absolutely. They don't want to accept their own reflection. Yeah, they shape shift. Absolutely. I can't believe I'm here. Yeah, exactly. And listen, when I say she flipped the script the day, like, this woman acted like a complete angel. Listen, like, And when I say that, I had been dealing with her over 10 years. But not only had I been dealing with her over 10 years, I knew her since we were children. Now we lost contact. We definitely lost contact over the years, like probably around middle school, high school, we lost contact. And I didn't bump back into her until we were in our 30s. Now, when I bumped back into her, even after bumping back into her, we still spent a significant amount of time. Like I probably bumped back into her around 2010 or 11, and we had our son in 2019. So that amount of time is the time where we had like back and forth. It was never any solidified relationship with her, and that's another red flag. It's like if you feeling somebody and they feeling you, and the relationship and y'all are kicking it and all of that kind of stuff, the relationship is supposed to grow to something. But when it comes down to a narcissist, the relationship never actually materialized into anything. It was just sex, fun, like going out, hanging out, going to the club, going here, going there. Especially in our younger years, when I was still kind of in my 20s or whatever the case may be. But then, like as I started getting older, that's when I started kind of expecting more from her. And as we are hanging out more and more, I'm like, what are we doing? Like we hanging out all the time, we having sex, we doing this, we doing that, but the situation's not going nowhere. And not only was it not going nowhere, it's like it was a back and forth. It was like this push and pull type of thing. So like I said, we linked up in like 2010, and she was around for like a year, and then she just pulled back. And when she pulled back, it was like no reason, no rhyme or reason, no, basically it was just like, oh, life is getting to me. I got things to take care of, or whatever the case may be. And so she ended up basically just pulling out of the situation, and she was gone for like a year and a half. But she came back into the situation. I'm not knowing about narcissism or anything like that, but when she came back into the situation, she just kind of presented herself like, oh, well, I had a lot going on, but, I was always about you. I was always feeling you. I was always, you always had my heart. You always had my, all of that kind of stuff. So she's giving me all the game. She's love bombing. She's doing all, she's doing her thing. So I'm looking at the situation like, okay, well, we was together the first time, and it wasn't no beef. It wasn't no smoke or nothing like that. It wasn't no drama or nothing like that. You just disappeared, and after you disappeared, you came back after like a year and a half. Okay, cool. So that's another thing about boundaries. Like that's one thing that we have to understand about when people just popping in and out your life like that. When people can just pull back from you like that, it's a reason for that pullback, and we overlook that pullback sometimes, or we fall into the lie. Like sometimes, like I fell into the lie. Basically, she told me that she was like handling business as far as work and taking care of her older son and all of that kind of stuff. So I fell into the lie. It happens, you know what I'm saying? But when she came back, I started paying a little bit more attention because now I'm getting a little bit older. And then it happened again. She disappeared again. So the third time she came back, now I'm 35-ish, 36-ish, and now I'm looking for like, I want to settle down. I want my wife. I'm looking for like my partner. I'm looking for that kind of thing. So it was cool to pop in and out when I was younger. It was like, all right, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I was doing my thing, she was doing her thing too. But as we started getting older, and as I started catching more feelings for her, and she kept popping in, out, it was that's the trauma bond. They that push and pull that they're giving you throughout the years. Like I said, the push and pull had been going on since 2010. We didn't have our son. She didn't get pregnant with my son until 2019. We didn't have him until 2020. So all of those years basically was building that trauma bond, that push and pull, that Okay, I'm gonna give you a little that breadcrumbing, like they say that narcissists will give you that little sprinkle of breadcrumbing. That's actually what was happening in the situation. So she's giving me the little bit of breadcrumb, like, okay, I'm gonna sprinkle a little of this on you. I'm gonna put the sex on you. Okay. Now what she did was like she came through with the sex, and not only with the sex, she would like bring me lunch at my job all the time, that kind of thing. So, and not only that, it was like she was very, um, very convenient, I guess I would call it, because like I would be able to see her in times where I couldn't see somebody else that I made. Like, so she never kept a steady job or any of that kind of stuff. And even when she had a job, she wouldn't really, keep a steady job, basically. So, she, like during the day, I would tell her work from home and all of that kind of stuff, and she would just pull up on me in the middle of the day. Like she would just pull up on me and, hey, what's up? So it was kind of fun. It was like, okay, I'm, I'm working in the middle of my day, and then my love interest comes over in the middle of the day and give me like that lunchtime special, you know what I'm saying? And then not only that, bring me a plate, bring me, you know what I'm saying? And so my child's mother is from Guyana, so they do a lot of like curry chicken, jerk chicken, all of that kind of stuff. So she would bring me all kinds of like Caribbean food and all of that kind of stuff, and I fell in love with that. I'm not gonna lie. Even hearing reggae music and all of that kind of stuff, I just fell in love with the whole scene, because I was feeling her, but at the same time, I was feeling just the fact that like my son, so her older son, right? Her older son, he can bounce back from like speaking like me, like American, and he can bounce back and forth between speaking that and going back and forth into speaking like he's from the Caribbean, so he's from Jamaica, or so he. I've seen him bounce back and forth like that, and I always thought that was kind of special. Like I saw that in my son, and I'm like, wow, my son is going to be able to do that fluently. He's going to be able to, bounce back and forth between the two different languages and the two different cultures. I love jerk chicken and partying and all of that kind of stuff. And they big on that in their culture. So I'm looking at me and her being together as a win-win situation. And the whole time I'm not really realizing that I'm dealing with a narcissist, and that she's about to discard, jump to the next person, do like that whole monkey jumping situation. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so basically, back to the story that happened the other day, man. She basically pulled up to the house. She was upset about the hat, and I'm like, the hat is in the bag, but I didn't want to talk to her at all. So she gets to like screaming to the top of her lungs. My neighbors across the street, they looking over like, what's going on? My neighbors next door, they looking like, okay, is everything all right over there? And I'm kind of embarrassed because my neighbors don't really know what's going on. They don't know that she's a narcissist and this, that, and the third. They just see her screaming to the top of her lungs and this, that, and the third. I'm ignoring her because I'm just like, it's no point in us going back and forth. There's no point in us arguing about any of this bullshit, like, because I did what I was supposed to do as a parent. And I actually tried to help you as a parent, even though you're not receptive to it, or even though you don't realize that that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to step up to the plate and just do what I had to do, put the hat in the bag, cleaned it up for her, sent it back to her, and she's just like flipping out in front of the house. Yeah, just because you didn't pay. Now I'm starting to realize the jealousy in the statement, though. So I don't know if y'all saw my video a few weeks ago about basically sending clothing home with the narcissist. So basically, that's what I ended up doing. I would buy my son all of this nice stuff, and I would send it home to her. And when I would send it home to her, it would never come back. I would never see it. I would never see. Like, I would buy him tennis shoes. If I bought him tennis shoes, the tennis shoes would just disappear somehow, never come back to the house, never see him again, never. I would buy him a whole sweatsuit, and she wouldn't send the sweatsuit back at all. I would buy him t-shirts and all of this kind of stuff, and she would like wash them, fade them, and then send them back to me after they all faded out and all of that kind of stuff. So what I ended up doing was, when I started buying the stuff that I would normally buy him, and I would put it on him, and I would let him wear it while he's here. And when I send him home, I send him home in whatever she sent. Now, me personally, I want my son to be as fresh as possible. Of course, I want my son to be, so I want to send him home and those types of things. But it's like she uses that against. It's like she uses the clothing, even the clothing. She uses that against me. Like, so she's taking his stuff, and I don't know if she's, just like destroying it on purpose or losing it on purpose, but somehow, some way, the clothes just never end up back here. And I'm spending a lot of money on certain outfits and this, that, and the third. Or I might buy him some shoes and this, that, and the third, and I might never see those shoes again. So to me, it's kind of like, you're doing it on purpose. You're not worried about the welfare of our child at this point. So I started keeping some of that stuff at my house, and I just, started sending him back in whatever she sent him over here in. So, like I said, she ended up like just flipping out about this hat, and she's like, "Yeah, you didn't buy this and you didn't buy that," and I'm starting to realize, oh, okay, somebody, because I blocked her completely on social media, but obviously somebody in her network is still following me on social media. So they see me when I'm posting like pictures of my son, and he's in the nice outfits that I bought him. So that's why she jumped out there and just, oh yeah, just because you didn't buy it doesn't mean that you shouldn't, that you should be careless with it and this, that, and the third. And I'm looking at her and I want to respond, because like I said, I'm like, you a whole sociopath, like you a whole psychopath. Like how you think that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna give me any type of parenting tips or whatever the case may be. But I held my word on that. I'm not going to flip out on her, and I'm not going to, get to going back and forth with her, because like they say, when you, people from a distance can't tell who is who when you arguing with a fool, you know what I'm saying? So Shorty flipped out completely in front of my house, and my neighbors are kind of looking. My neighbors across the street, they looking like, everything okay over there? And then my neighbors next door, they kind of like, peeping around the corner, like peeping around the side, just, is everything cool? Like, and the whole time I saw that it was just a narcissist seeking attention. She just really wanted some attention. She hasn't been getting my attention. Like, I haven't been, like, so this is another thing as far as like, and, they say the super empath and all of that kind of stuff. But basically, I towards the end of our relationship, I started catching her in every single lie that she told. I don't know if that's a super empath thing. I don't know what it is, but I started catching her in every single lie. Like, when I say every lie, I'm slicing through the lies. I'm like, that don't make sense. This don't make sense. Wait a minute, hold up. That don't make sense at all. Like, I know you lying about this. So now I'm checking her on all the lies. Now, she was getting away with a lot of stuff beforehand because maybe I wasn't really paying attention. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the fact that I wasn't really paying attention, or the fact that, I don't know if it was the love bomb or whatever the case they say. But when I started really paying attention to how she was moving, that's when I started catching her and calling her out on all the lies. And I started calling, like, when you call a narcissist out on their lies, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to either try to gaslight you, or they're going to give you the silent treatment. Mine was the silent treatment. I got this because I caught her so dead to the rights in the lies that she couldn't really get out of it. You know what I'm saying? It was certain lies that, now, number one, I have a degree in criminal justice. That's just what I do. I sit in the house a lot of times, like for years. I sat in the house and just watched the ID channel and all of that kind of stuff every single day. I watch court cases and all that kind of stuff all day long, every single day. So for her to try to like lie to me about something, especially and getting the courts and all of that kind of stuff involved, I'm looking at her and I'm like, wow, like you really think I'm a fool? Like I'm actually extremely intelligent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really think that I'm that stupid, though? You know what I'm saying? So I'm catching her in the lies and I'm calling her out on them. And as I'm calling her out on the lies, that's when, like, you know, I started getting the silent treatment. So it went straight, like, she wouldn't even try to deny the lie. She knew I caught her in the lie. I would catch her dead to right in the lie. And as I'm catching her in a lie, she wouldn't even try to defend the fact that, oh yeah, nah, yeah, you got me, okay. She wouldn't do none of that. She would just go completely silent, just completely silent treatment, like wouldn't speak about it, wouldn't talk about the issue no more, wouldn't bring it up no more, all of that kind of stuff. So now I'm starting to realize, okay, this person is toxic. I'm not even realizing what toxic is just yet, but I'm like, obviously this person is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Obviously this person don't have my best interests at heart. That's what I'm feeling. So as I'm starting to like see that, okay, this person has been lying to me. This person has been obviously dealing with other dudes, this, that, and the third. Like, as I'm starting to like just see the whole play of how the narcissists move, I'm like, she don't deserve my time, my energy, my conversation, any of that no more. So now when she pulls up and when she drops my son off, it's literally like, I don't have no words for you. I don't have no conversation for you. I don't have nothing to say to you. So the other day, the other day when she dropped my son off, basically she wanted to literally start an argument to bait me back into the situation so I can go back and forth with her, so she would know that I was still emotionally attached to her, basically. And me personally, I'm like, I'm done. I'm completely done. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you, even as far as parenting, all of that kind of stuff. Like, obviously you've shown me that we can't co-parent, so now we got a parallel parent, basically. So that's where I'm at with the situation, y'all. Hang on one second, y'all. I'll be right back. What's up, guys? So let me get to some of y'all comments real quick. They are her flying monkey spots. They stick to their kind. Yeah, you right. You right about that. I get bossed around, turn. Hang on. They deliberately create drama to pull you back in. Yeah, you absolutely right about. Did I tell y'all about the story about her lying about my son being in a carjacking? I think I told y'all about that on another video. If not, I'm gonna tell y'all the whole story again. Well, I haven't told y'all the full story, but as time goes on, man, I definitely want to give you guys the full entire story, because it literally was like a fairy tale that turned into a nightmare. It literally like was something that could have been like one of the most beautiful stories ever that just turned into like a complete nightmare after learning about narcissism. Like it's crazy how fast things change when you're dealing with a narcissist. How you going? That's my ex. They play the victim on everything, exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna do a video on that too, because I'm gonna do a video on the reverse discard, because a lot of people don't even realize that the narcissist will, like, they will force you to break up with them so that they can still look like the victim. And that's kind of what happened in my case. So it's like she made it seem she smeared my name to her entire family and to like basically her entire network to make it seem like I left her, when in reality she rolled out, left me. She basically told me, like I said, day of her getting pregnant, she's like, oh, I don't need no dude, I don't need to be with you, I'm just like my mother, I'm, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. Now I guess she didn't think that I was going to rock with that, because I'm like, okay, you telling me, basically you telling me you got other choices out here, and you done chose somebody else. So since I feel like you made your choice, guess what? I'm gonna make you sleep in that choice. So that's what it is. Like, you chose the streets, now go live in them. So that's what ended up happening. She wanted to come back into the situation, and basically after my son was born, so check this out, y'all. She ghosted me the entire pregnancy, from the time that my son was thought about, from the time we found out. She completely ghosted me. Like, I want to be there for the doctor's appointments, I want to be there for this, I want to be there for that, I want to be there for, I really want to be an involved parent, because like I said, I came from a split household, so you want to break those generational curses as you grow up. So, you know, I want to be there for everything for my son. And she didn't allow me, like, she didn't let me know about any of the doctor's appointments, any of, all of this kind of, like, any of the stuff that was going on with the baby. Now, let me give it, I want to tell y'all this part in another video, but since we already talking about it, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all this part too. So, there was one doctor's appointment that she invited me to, and I was trying to figure out why she invited me to this particular one. And she didn't actually invite me. She had her best friend, with the flying monkey. She had her flying monkey contact me. Her flying monkey contacts me. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning one day. I'm at work. I'm sitting at my desk at work, like working. And her flying monkey contacts me, and she's like, hey, did you know it's a doctor's appointment today? And I'm like, no, I haven't known about any of the doctor's appointments, so why would I know about this particular one? And she's like, oh yeah, there's a doctor's appointment today, you should be there. So off the break, my antennas is going up on that, like, why this particular doctor's appointment should I be here, but none of the other ones was I invited to? Like, what's going on with that? So what ended up happening was, they're like, oh yeah, you should be here, you should come, you should be there. I'm not thinking nothing of the situation. I'm like, look, this is about my child, I want to be there. So I pull up. The one doctor's appointment in the entire time that she told, the entire pregnancy, basically, the one doctor's appointment that she invited me to, I get there, I walk in. Now I walk in, it's me, it's her best friend, it's her, and it's the doctor. So I'm in the situation, and I'm like, first of all, why is your best friend here? Like, why is she a part of every single thing? Why is she the one contacting me? Like, I laid down with you, I had sex with you, I'm having a baby with you. Why is your best friend contacting me, telling me about whatever? But of course, I'm not knowing about the flying monkey at that point. I'm not knowing, okay, they use other people to try to, bait you into arguments and all of that kind of stuff. They use other people to basically abuse you. So I didn't realize that at that point. So I'm like, listen, why am I even talking to your best friend at all? Like, what is this about? So I walk into the doctor's office and I'm like, okay, why would they invite me to this one? But I've been trying to come to every single appointment before, like every single doctor's appointment. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there. And she's not letting me know about any of them. Now, this one hits and she's like, and they're adamant about me being there. So now I'm like, what's going on? So check this out, y'all. I get there. I walk in. Like I said, it's her. It's her best friend. It's her and the doctor. As soon as I walk in, I'm not knowing what's going on. This is my first appointment, very first appointment. Off the streets. My first baby and my very first doctor's appointment about having a baby. As soon as I walk in, the doctor has a screen. It's like a computer screen, and it's like on a swivel thing. So she is sitting on the back side of it. My child's mother, she's sitting on the back side of it. Me and her best friend is on this side of the screen. And the doctor is standing in the middle. And the doctor like swings the screen and then she types on the screen. This is my first appointment. I'm thinking we just gonna hear the heartbeat or something like this. My very first appointment, the doctor types in, it's a boy. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, why the hell would she keep it a secret from herself, but let me know the sex of the child? I'm a parent too. Like, why would, if we were gonna have any type of gender reveal party or any of that kind of stuff, like if we're gonna do any of that type of stuff, why would she let me know the sex of the child, but keep it a secret from herself? But also let her best friend know the sex of the child. So me and her best friend is on this side of the screen. Me and her, we can see it. So I'm seeing it's a boy. And I'm like, wow. So now I'm feeling like, okay, because you know how y'all see all of the different things on Facebook and Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. And you see people like popping off with their, gender reveals and the pink stuff flying out and the blue stuff flying out. And I wanted all of that. I wanted all of that I wanted to experience every bit of that. And I feel like she completely snatched the rug from under all of that. Like basically she took away me being at all the doctor's appointments. She took away the gender reveal and all of that kind of stuff. Now, check this out, y'all. Now, I'm wondering why that was done that way. Why did she invite me to the doctor's appointment? Why did she invite me and do all of this? Okay, cool. Now, check this out. A few weeks later, her friend, the flying monkey, her friend sends me a flyer. The flyer says, gender reveal party. It's gender reveal party, this, that, and the third. It's telling me, okay, yeah, it's gender reveal party. They gave us a location. I don't know if any of y'all from DC or DMV, they threw it at Ivy City Smokehouse. So any of y'all that's from the DMV area, if y'all know Ivy City Smokehouse, that's where this flyer that they sent me a flyer saying, okay, we're doing the gender reveal. Now I'm wondering, because I'm like, we doing a gender reveal? Because I already know the sex of the baby. Like you fucked that up for me. You know what I'm saying? Like basically like you took that away from me. So I know the sex of the baby already. So we're still doing a gender reveal. Now, mind you, she kept it a secret from herself. Her best friend knew the sex of the baby, but she kept it a secret from herself as well. Now, day of, now, like I said, I get a flyer. The flyer says we're doing it at Ivy City Smokehouse, 11 a.m., this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. Now, I send this flyer out to my entire family. My grandmother, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins. I send this flyer out because I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's what it is. We having a gender reveal for my son. And, you know, my family is like, I'm 39 years old. It took me this long to even have a child. So my family is like going crazy that I'm even having a child. They want to be here for me. They want to support me. I got a real loving family. Like, they wanted to be there for me. So they ended up sending us this invitation to Ivy City Smokehouse, 11 a.m. I get down to the restaurant. We get down there. My whole family's like, they pull up. We down there. We're waiting. Now, it's 10:45. It's like damn near 11 o'clock now. So we looking around. Her and none of her family is there. So I'm like, what the hell going on? Like, so I'm asking the manager. I'm like, hey, you know, where's the, you know, what room is the event in? Like, there's a gender reveal party that's supposed to be here. It's a gender reveal party that's scheduled to be here at 11 a.m. The manager of the venue, the manager of Ivy City Smokehouse, he's like, nah, we don't got nothing planned. And so I'm like, I show him the flyer. I show him the flyer that's on my phone and everything. I'm like, look, it say 11 a.m. That's today, right? This today's date, right? This, that, and the third. He like, now check this out. The manager of the venue caught the play before I did. He saw it, he said, he looked at it. Damn, that's fucked up. Now I'm looking, I'm like, so it's no party here, it's no none of that. And he like, nah, we don't have nothing scheduled like that, this, that, and the third. Woo, woo, woo. So now I call my child's mother. I'm on the phone, calling. She's sending me the voicemail. So I call the best friend, the one that typed the flyer up and the one that sent me the flyer. I'm calling the best friend. She's sending me the voicemail. I got my partners, my homies, they calling both of them. Everybody's calling. They sending everybody the voicemail. They cut their phones off completely. Cut everything off. Cut all their phones off completely. Okay. Now, where she messed up is she called me, she FaceTimed me from her mother's cell phone months before and forgot. So now I got her mother's FaceTime, right? So I go on the mother's FaceTime. I hit the FaceTime, boom. I hit the FaceTime. As soon as I hit the FaceTime, the phone started ringing. It started ringing. Her mother answers. The phone. Like, it's FaceTime. So I'm looking at her mother. I'm face to face. I'm looking at her mother, but I can see in the background of the situation that they are at the actual location. So this broad and her best friend sent me and my entire family to the wrong location for the gender reveal. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she and her family is over there partying, living it up. They finding out, oh yeah, it's a boy, this, that, and the third, all of that. Now it's starting to make sense on, oh, that's why she invited me to the doctor's appointment. She wanted me to know the sex of the child. She wanted me to, so that she could always use that as, well, at least I told you. At least I told you what the sex of the child was. You didn't have to be at the party because at least I told you what the sex of the child was. That's basically what she was doing. So, you know, so she had pre-planned for me and my family not to be a part of none of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, check this out. The other spinoff is she lied to her family, basically telling her family that I didn't want to have anything to do with the baby. And not only did I not want to have anything to do with the baby, that I thought, like, my family thought that they were better than her family. And like, basically she played all of the cards in the middle of the situation that will make it seem to her family like me and my family just wanted nothing to do with her and the baby. And we just thought we was better than them. And she used the cultural differences. So like I said, she's from Guyana. my family's from America. So oh yeah, Americans think they're better than us. Americans think they think they're better than us. They think that they this and they think that they that. So, you know what I'm saying? And so she used that and played her family against my family. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just, like she played my family against her family just to play the victim, basically. So she would look like the victim, and all of the things that she had done to me wouldn't be exposed. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, a rock and a hard place for a person like me. It's like, because you want to react. Like I'm used to reacting a certain type of way, and they know that. You know what I'm saying? Like she know that. She's known me from a child. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she was really trying to bait me into reacting a certain type of way. That's like reactionary abuse. They know that, how you gonna react, how you gonna, take certain things. And because of that, they gonna push against those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, y'all. Let me catch up with some of y'all comments real quick. A bunch of 5-year-olds, absolutely. With that color, yeah, real talk. Mike W, absolutely, man. Hey, it's terrible. Hang on, yeah. Exactly, man. Now, imagine being a father, man. Just imagine being, because, and that's what I was trying to explain to her. I'm like, listen, it's a lot of dudes out here that just would have wanted to hit that jump and push on. And whether you got pregnant or not, it's a lot of dudes that wouldn't even, what I'm saying, especially if you trying to push the father out the life. Like if you try, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't never been that type of dude. I want my children. I want, like I built my life to where I should have my children. That's how I feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I honestly feel like my son should be here with me. Listen, when I say I done everything that I could right in my life to just for that. You know what I'm saying? Even, I mean, of course, I had my own personal goals and dreams and all of that kind of stuff, but I mean, all through school, from elementary school to high school, I was a straight A student almost all the way through school. Got a full ride to college on an academic scholarship. I'm coming from the hood. I'm talking about I'm from that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I made all of that progress. You know what I'm saying? I made all of that progress coming from what I was coming from. And not only was I an academic, I was also an athlete. So I had two lanes kind of mixing and matching and going for me at that time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just throughout life, you get that rug snatched from under you a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of opportunities, and you got to make the most of it. And right now, that's what I thought I was doing in this situation. I really thought that now I done played my ball, and I done went to college, and I done my thing, and I done came back home, and I bumped into somebody that I know from a child. And she's attractive, and we both are mixing and mingling, and we feeling each other. That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking again, this gonna be like a fairy tale. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Me and Shawty went to elementary school together. Like we went to kindergarten together. First, second, third grade together. Lost contact. And then in our 30s, we came back together and made it a solid situation. Had a child together, this, that, and the third. But she had totally other motives, total other, like she ain't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like she played me into believing that that's what she wanted. Future faking. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically made me feel like, oh yeah, we're gonna be a family, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do the third. But as the situation pretty much played out, I started realizing like, nah, you don't want none of that. Like, you really just, you wanted that baby and you wanted the benefits of that baby. Because y'all got to look at it like this. She had that baby, loved my son to death, but she had the baby and she won off of the COVID-19 and the tax benefits and all of that. She probably got about 15,000 back just from having my son just from having my son. She probably got $15,000 back just off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not only that, you know, she don't have no plans on me claiming him or any of that kind of stuff in the years to come. Even though I don't want none of that. I don't, like, it's never been about no money with me. It ain't never been about no bread with me at all. I love genuinely from my heart, even y'all from this channel, man. Like, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for continuing to rock with me, rock with the channel, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love genuinely from my heart. So really, she just played herself played herself out of position with somebody who genuinely had feelings, like genuinely love. Like, I love big. Like, I love, man, my heart my heart is really literally bigger than my body, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dude, but my heart is, you know, my heart big as shit. So you basically just played yourself out of the position. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it happens in life, and we learn our lessons. We keep it moving. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, y'all. Yeah, Mike W. Absolutely right. Hey guys, everybody on the live, subscribe to the channel, man. I'm trying to keep the channel growing, y'all. I hope y'all. I don't see none of my normal people that I interact with here, but I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate everybody. I'm hoping y'all subscribed so I can keep in touch with y'all. Hey, if y'all haven't joined the Facebook group, man, make sure we got a group on Facebook that it's good to get to know y'all. It's good to chop it up and get to know y'all and all of that kind of stuff. So if y'all want to join the Facebook group, the description is in the channel description. So y'all could check it out over there. Anybody that wants to donate to the channel, the Cash App is # eradicating narcs, just like the channel. Mike, appreciate you, man. Lizenial, man, you say you're going through the same thing, man. I feel you. This is the first time I've been live. This is actually the very first live. Yeah, this is my first time. I don't do live. Look, listen, y'all. I don't do live personally or professionally at all. Like, I'm totally new to this altogether. So I just wanted to come on, jump on, have some fun with y'all because I couldn't sleep tonight, and I had that situation on my mind of my baby mother tripping out on me the other day. So I wanted to chop it up with you guys and just share the experience with y'all. I'm gonna do another video on love bombing. Like, a lot of people think that love bombing just comes in the form of like whatever they're trying to do or whatever the case may be, but like sex or, you know, giving you food or whatever the case may be. But this happened to me over the weekend. All right, check this out, y'all. My child's mother, she buys, okay, if she buys him clothes that says mommy or daddy or mommy this, mommy that, it'll always be mommy's baby. mommy's love, mommy's heart, mommy's this, mommy's that, mommy's hero, mommy that, you know what I'm saying? All of the clothing will be like that. Now, I got a clothes this. Listen, y'all. Relentless Society. When y'all see the heart with the RS, if y'all can, man, go to. We are on Instagram. R_society _R_ life. I know that's a lot, but as soon as y'all hit the R_society, y'all see the blue heart, and that's us. You know what I'm saying? That's my clothing line. We're a nonprofit. We're a nonprofit organization based out of Washington, D.C. And our mission is to revitalize global communities throughout the world, basically, in efforts to mitigate poverty, drug addiction, homelessness, and overall depression. So we kind of tie into all of those facets in our mission and our objectives. So we've done a whole lot in the community, y'all. If y'all can, like I said, go subscribe to the channel. Go follow the go follow the page on Instagram, Relentless Society, and we are also on Facebook, Relentless Society as well. And I will be introducing the clothing and all of that kind of stuff to you guys. I kind of just wanted to build a channel about the narcissism and all of that, and just get used to being in front of the camera before I started actually introducing you guys to all of the other stuff that I had going on. But I feel like it really ties into overcoming narcissism. Like, we are literally relentless. We are in our efforts and our passion and our pursuit, like literally, like we are, you know what I'm saying? We are relentless, like for real. You know what I'm saying? We've done a lot in the community. We've fed the homeless. We have held financial literacy programs for children. We have held entrepreneurship classes for children, and youth and young adults in the community, all of that kind of stuff. We got a lot going on, so just go follow the Instagram. We also have a website, relentlesssociety.org, if you guys want to follow that. And we are on Facebook as well. And if you guys want to follow me personally on Instagram, my personal Instagram is AD1_A1. So that's the letters AD, the number 1_A1. That's my personal Instagram. It's private right now because, you know, dealing with narcissism, and you got people trying to stalk your page and all of that kind of stuff. So I kept everything private right now, but I will sift through and make sure that you guys are coming from the page, coming from the YouTube channel over to the page or whatever. But yeah, man, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for all of the continued love. Hang on, let me. It's hard to. I'm trying to talk to you guys and read y'all comments at the same time, but they disappear if I don't click on the page right away. So let me look and see what y'all talking about. Did I help her get her green card? Nah. Nah, she was born here. Like I said, I went to elementary school with her, so she was born here, but her family is from Guyana. So, yeah. Mike W said that sound like his ex. Hey, real time. I ain't gonna put her name out there, Mike. But what, type her name in the comments, bro. Let me see if it's the same person. You from DC, Mike? Let me know, bro. If you from DC, we might be talking about the same person, bro. KX said evil, yeah. Yeah, psychic dashing. They use other people to abuse. Yep, absolutely. Listen, she used everybody in the situation to abuse me. Listen, when we went to when I went to that one doctor's appointment, like I said, I walked in and I'm expecting a doctor, because it's a doctor. I'm expecting a doctor to be like extremely professional. But the doctor was a young black woman, and I guess she just had that vibe with my child's mother. And my child's mother had been to several appointments before me. So she had already pretty much set the tone. She had already pretty much had everybody in the situation looking at me like I was the foul one, like I didn't want to be there for my child and all that. So I walk into the doctor's office just for this one particular, this one appointment, and the doctor is treating me bad. Like she treated me bad as shit, y'all. Like I walk in and she's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm trying to shake her hand, like, and I'm trying to introduce myself, like, yeah, I'm the child's father. And she's like, shit, man, like basically, and I'm like, where's that coming from? And I didn't realize, again, I didn't understand narcissism at that time. I didn't know that she had already like smeared my name to the doctor, smeared my name to her family, smeared my name to these people. So I'm going around all of these different people. Like I'm going around her family, and before all of this, we've been cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I've been in other situations and I've met her family and all of that kind of stuff, and it's been cool. So now all of a sudden I'm like going around her family and everybody treating me funny, like all their cousins and stuff that normally, hey, how you doing? What's up? They normally like happy go lucky with me, and then all of a sudden now I'm going around them and they like barely speaking. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Like I didn't do, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything to like piss y'all off. So I'm not understanding what's going on. I'm not understanding that like, oh, she been lying. Like she been playing like both sides of the field the whole time. So she been treating me like I'm her love interest and I'm, you know, her heart and her everything. And then on the flip side, she has been lying to her family and telling them, oh, well, he this type of person, he that type of person, he did this, he did that, he did the third, da da da. And I'm like, wow. Like, so once I started like catching on to the lies and stuff, I stopped playing her game. And I think, like I said, when it comes down to like being a super empath, I can honestly say that I for sure found out that I was. I didn't even know what an empath was until I found out about this situation. But then I started looking at how I handled this situation. Like triangulation didn't work on me. She tried to make me jealous, like with other guys and stuff like that. And I was just like, I like do your thing, you know what I'm saying? Like have fun, you know. Like, it's your life. You want to be a whore, go be a whore. Like you want to go be a hoe, go be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Have your fun. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, of course, I didn't want that for my family and for my child and all of that. But it's like once I realized that's just who she was. It wasn't no more fighting and trying to like I didn't try to like fix her. I didn't try to play the save game of like, oh, I want my family. No. Once she showed me that that's the type of woman that she was, because any type of woman with any type of real self-respect wouldn't just, as soon as you find out you're pregnant by a certain dude, you boom. And then if y'all know narcissism, if you, like I said, if you think about it and you know narcissism, when she cut me off, when she when she cut me off, when she first found out she was pregnant, why y'all think she did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Think about it. Why y'all think she did that? I know some of y'all done probably saw another video, but like, listen, she cut me off right then and there because she wasn't showing yet. She wasn't showing the pregnancy and all of that yet. So she could easily sneak into another dude's bed, go give him the pussy, go give him, you know what I'm saying, go give him all the sex and all of that. Now, he don't know that she pregnant already. She know. She done, you know, basically ghosted me. And now she smashing another dude before she started showing. Now, when she started showing, she tried to come back to me. not realizing that I'm seeing the play. I'm seeing, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, even though I don't know all the details of what's going on, I don't know everything, but I'm using my intuition now. I'm using, like, y'all, like real live. It's like God talking to you. It's like when you use your intuition, it's literally like God speaking to you. So now I'm using my intuition and I'm like, so you get pregnant, then you just disappear. Now you ghosted me the whole pregnancy. You messing with somebody else, ain't you? So now I'm starting to put all the, you know what I'm saying, and as I'm starting to put all the pieces together, and I'm not only looking at what she doing, but she got her older son lying for her. Her older son is like 12. And now she got him because now he's getting of that age where he's starting to figure things out. So she got him telling lies for her. And he is running back. And you know, as a kid, you know, you can tell when a kid lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, the innocence in him wants to still be a good kid, but he's being forced to lie for his mother. And that's snatching away his innocence. And you can just see it on him every time he come and talk to me about something. Every time her oldest son, yeah, that's not my son, that's not my child at all, but she ran his father out of the situation already. The same thing that she's trying to do to me. So she already successfully got his father completely out of the picture. Now she's trying to do the same exact thing to me, but I just wasn't budge. I wasn't the one that was going for, like, I want to be in my child's life. I really believe that she was able to get the first child's father out of the situation because he had like 3 or 4 kids already. And when she started tripping and doing the things that she did, it was kind of like, well, I already got kids. I'm getting older. I'm doing my thing. So I kind of feel like he just didn't want to put up that fight with her. And I've heard a lot of other stuff that I'm going to explain to y'all a little bit later that makes that situation even a little more hectic than what it is, and makes my situation a lot more hectic than what it is. But that's a whole nother video, y'all. But yeah, man, I just wanted to chop it up with y'all. I ain't going. Let me look through some of y'all comments real quick. Knock, see the light of it, yeah. Sincere, what's up, baby? How are you? It's good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Man, I appreciate all y'all, man, for real. Everybody that been rocking with the channel. Mike, appreciate y'all. Mr. Brink, hold on. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, my man, Mr. Brink, I appreciate you, bro. So here. Lady T, much love, baby. Yeah, KX is definitely, yeah, it's called Triangulation. Yeah, that's what, you know, like, that's, man, triangulation is one of their main tactics, man. I had to deal with that a lot. Like, not even knowing what triangulation was. Like, I remember one day she just came out the blue and was just like, hey, this dude hit me in my inbox, and she started telling me about some guy like texting her, and he had basically slid in her DMs and was trying to holler, and it was somebody that we knew mutually and all of that kind of stuff. It was just a mess, and I'm like, this is after she's pregnant with my child, though. So, of course, regardless of how I feel about her as a person, this is still my child's mother. So, you know, I'm still wanting that respect from these dudes out here that's like, hold on, Slim, like, that's my child mother. I don't care how she acting or whatever the case may be. Don't disrespect me like that. And y'all know me, you know what I'm saying? So y'all know that I ain't that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't play with me like that. So it was more so the respect thing when it came down to like the triangulation, especially when it's somebody that know who you are and know, now it's happened. Like I think it's happening now, but the dude don't know me personally. But while we were in the situation, she actually tried to use people that we knew personally, like, and that's the thing about the monkey jump. Like that's why you can't really introduce a narcissist to your loved ones and stuff like that, like because you know what I'm saying, they looking for the next best thing. So even if you got a best friend, if you got a cousin, if you got family members and all of that kind of stuff that they feel like is in a better situation than you, they gonna monkey jump. Like think about the monkey swinging on the vine like Tarzan. Like they gonna jump from one vine and swing to that next one if they can. So yeah, they try to isolate you, but they also want to get to know your network too, so they can slip in and they'll smash your cousin, they'll smash your brother, sister, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. Let me get back to the comments real quick. Blackberry, Noxodaemons, Empaths or Angels, absolutely. It's disgusting, bro. I like seriously when y'all talk about disgust. I have never been so disgusted after until after finding about narcissism. I have never been this disgusted in my life by anybody, like literally by anybody, until I found out about this. Like when I found out about, I mean, I don't even know what y'all think is that. I feel like the worst part of it was like the betrayal, just the fact that you could literally lie on an innocent person. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with the cheating, like, okay, because number one, I didn't really know that the cheating was going on until like after everything was done. And on number two, it's like I always been taught, like, man, you want to jump out there, you want to be about them streets, man, go have them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing. So when it came down to the cheating, I could deal with that. I could deal with, like, you know what I'm saying? I just know I got to cut you off after that. I just know, okay, it ain't no more dealings with us after that. But when it came down to, like, the fact of just being completely lied on and, like, smeared and just having random people just in your business that ain't got nothing to do with your business, and they're believing the lies, and they thinking that you this type of person, and like real talk, that's the part, you know what I'm saying? And then just the fact of like you not thinking that this person gonna betray you like that. You're not seeing that coming. You don't see that this person has been playing both sides of the field your entire relationship. So like I said, I have been dealing with mine off and on for like 10 years, relationship wise, like as far as like us dealing with each other intimately. But I've known her since we were like 5, 6 years old. So you're not thinking somebody that you've known since your child, like since you was 5 years old, is gonna move like that and gonna treat you like that. And towards the end, they're gonna, throw you under the bus, and you ain't even done nothing to them, but they're gonna throw you under the bus just to protect their own image. And like you're not thinking like people gonna move like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no preparation for that type of shit. Have you ever noticed a knock can actually make empaths physically? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the main things. They definitely will make us sick. One minute they love the two. Yeah. Hey, the pity party is the great, like, Mike. The pity party, bro. The pity party, like, I. What's more fascinating to me is not that they throw the pity party, is that people that know that they foul still fall into the pity party. That's the shit that's like, it throws me for a complete loop. Like, hold on, you know this person lie all the time. You know this person is a cheater. You know this person is dealing with like 2, 3, 4 other people besides me, and you still protecting it. It's like the enablers kill me. The people that enable the narcissists kill me, bro. Like, real talk. It's them enablers, man. Chaos is order. Hey, I couldn't have said it no better. Chaos is order to them. It's crazy. I want to tap in. Yeah, I want to definitely tap into y'all and hear about some of y'all karma stories. That's one of the main topics. Everybody want to hear about the karma stories. I got a few of my own. I'll tell y'all about later. Knox love to throw extravagant parties. Yeah, and I say this, Mike, if they throwing it, yeah, they love to, especially if it's for them in particular. Now, do they love attend? If somebody else throws the party, I done seen all the jealousy in the world come out. If it's not about them, then I don't care how extravagant the party is. I don't care how nice everything is for the party. They if it's not for them, yeah, they ain't feeling it. I'm trying to keep up with y'all comments real quick. Joseph, yeah, exit real quick. Joseph say exit real quick. Absolutely. Once you, they say once you know you go. Go so get out, stay out. Yeah, man. I can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've never been as disgusted in my life with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm very understanding to a lot of things. Like I've been exposed to a lot of things in life. So I'm very understanding when it comes down to a lot of stuff in life. So to discuss me is like, yeah, you gotta be trifling. Like you gotta be real foul. And I can honestly say that my child's mother, like, I really was completely disgusted. I've never felt like just ugh, like yuck, just ugh. After just learning some of the stuff that she was into. Hang on, yeah. So it take a while to fly. Damn, you had 20 years in, bro. That's a long time. But I honestly, hang on. Oh, Blackbird, you had 20 years in. That's a long time, sweetheart. And 4 sons. 20 years and 4 sons. Man, I know that's hard. Oh yeah, you raising them on your own. I can definitely believe that. Like I said, Knox don't believe in co-parenting at all. It's no teamwork at all. I from day one, I've wanted to do certain things for my son. My son is from a little tiny baby. He was very attractive, as you know what I'm saying. And I wanted to put him into like modeling and stuff. Like I wanted him, just to start building his life for him before he even knew what was happening. So I had all these elaborate plans as a father, just knowing what my life was like and just wanting better for him. So I had all of these different plans. Even now on a personal level, I like invest into stocks and stuff like that for my son, just on a personal level. Like my son's 1 years old and he has his own personal stock account, and he has, he's growing over like $200 or $300 in dividends already every year. So that's another channel that I'm probably gonna launch a little bit later because I'm very into stocks, especially dividend stocks. So any of you guys that's in the stocks, I'm gonna launch another channel later on down the line. But yeah, I really was I had all of these elaborate plans of making his life better than ours were when we were children. And she didn't like none of that up to this day. He's almost 2 years old. And when I say she went against all of it. And a lot of it made perfect sense, but she went against it because it was me suggesting it. So she broke my heart. He said she broke my heart. I truly tried to help her. Yeah, I mean that's that. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. It's like one thing I can say in my situation is I had already been through heartbreaks, so her breaking my heart, yeah, it hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I had already been through it, so I had already like prepared myself for somebody moving funny. And I just knew at this point it's just cutting them off. But it still hurt though. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and act like the fact that, somebody that you've been dealing with and you got history with, you've known since elementary school, now you got a child with, it still hurt. It still hurt. Blackberry, how long you been out? How long has your no contact been? Lord, look at my brother. Jones boy. I was reading the smear campaign that some of the flying monkeys want. Yeah, Jones. Yeah, the flying monkeys want to get physical. Yeah, they could try. Like, see, I ain't saying as far as no tough guy stuff or nothing like that, but they yeah, they ain't want that type of smoke, Jones. So it was all emotional. Like when they okay, so it did get physical, and I want to do another video. I don't even know if I should tell y'all about this one right now. I'm gonna tell you. All right, listen. Okay, so check this out. The day that we found out that she was not the day that I'm sorry, not the day that we found out she was pregnant. The next day, the very next day, her family was having this big cookout that they do every single year. They do this big elaborate family type of get together every single year. And the day that we found out she was pregnant, that's when this cookout was. It was like the very next day or whatever. So we're sitting there and we're chilling. Like I walk in and I'm just kicking it with her because I'm like, I got her pregnant now, and now I'm kind of feeling like part of the family. I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I want to, like get to know everybody and all of that kind of stuff. Because obviously I'm gonna be a part of everything at this point because she's pregnant. So I'm sitting there, and like I said, my child's mother, she's from Guyana, so they had jerk chicken and curry chicken and all of that. I'm an American dude, so I'm loving all of that. I'm like, oh man, saying, like I'm enjoying my time. So I'm sitting down, and I'm sitting at a picnic table. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting down at a picnic table, and I'm sitting down, and I'm eating my food. And the next thing I know, her brother, her older brother, who I've known since, again, I've known her since elementary school. Her older brother was in like middle school when we were in elementary school. So I knew him. We were from around the same neighborhood and all of that. We weren't close enough, but we knew each other. So her brother, I'm sitting down eating my food at the cookout, and her brother just comes and he's like over my back, you know what I'm saying? I'm eating my food this way, and he like comes behind me, he grabs my shoulder. He grabbed it firm, like, and he's like, "You effing my sister? You effing my sister?" And I'm like, "What? Like, am I effing your sister?" Listen, I've been effing your sister for damn near 10 years now. Like, it's not like this new to you, you know what I'm saying? She pregnant, you know what I'm saying, at this point. So I'm like, am I effing your sister? Like, where did that come from? Like, so he is like literally trying to intimidate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's standing over top of me. He's like, yeah, I'm way more gangster than you, and I'm way more this, and I'm way more that. And first of all, I'm like, you gonna have to prove that to me, bro. Like, yeah, I ain't the one you gonna talk out of position. Like, you're not gonna be able to just, tell me you more gangster. You gonna have to show it to me, number one. And number two, who cares? Like, what do that give you a badge of honor because you feel like you tough, or you feel like, man, come on, man, I done been through too much to, you know what I'm saying, to be worried about who's more gangster and who's more this and who's more that. Like, man, I lived that life, so I ain't worried about proving no points to nobody about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, he's like going at me, and he's like, yeah, so you effing my sister? Yeah, I do this to you, I do that to you, I do this to you, I do that to you. And so I'm looking at him, and I'm like, dog, I'm with all that dumb shit. Like, if you really want to jump out there, like, let's jump out there. Now, I'm standing up to him, and while I'm standing up to him, the first thing she yells out is, well, at least I know you're not scared of my brothers. And I'm like, why would you think that I was scared of your brothers, number one? And number two, now I'm starting to put the play together that, oh, you sicked your brother on me. You know what I'm saying? You sicked it. You put him up to that. So now I'm starting to peep like, okay, the family's involved. Like, the family know what's going on. The family know that the narcissist is toxic. The family know all of that. They are with the shits, basically. The family know every single thing that's going on, and the family is part of it. And in that situation, when her brother tried to attack me and I wasn't going for it, and then she yelled out, oh, well, at least I know you're not scared of my brother. I instantly knew, oh, you said that because you put him up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to really start thinking outside the box when I'm dealing with her, because they real sneak. And the reason I said, okay, check this out. The day before, it was another little party or whatever the case may be. We go to this party. This is my side of the family. This is a little get together at my cousin's house. We go to this party. While we're at this party, there's a young lady that had interest in me at this party. So my baby mother, we just found out she was pregnant. So she was so anxious to put it in front of this other girl, like, oh yeah, I got this baby coming, like, yeah. So she's trying to make the other girl jealous. And she walks into the room and she's like getting all close to the girl and like basically trying to put it in front of her face, like, yeah, I got a baby with him, or I got a baby on the way with him, da 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 da. And so the other girl was kind of getting, she was getting a little jealous or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, she respected like our friendship or whatever the case may be. So she just left it as what it is. So a few minutes later, I get a text on my phone, and my phone goes off. I look at the text, and it's my child's mother talking about the other girl. And she's like, did you see her face? That was so priceless. She is so mad. She is so in her feelings. She is tight because, I got a baby by you and she don't. And da 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 da. And I'm looking at her like, you feel like that's a badge of honor? Like, you feel like, like that give you, some type of prep, because I didn't know I was dealing with a narcissist at that time. I didn't know that they was all into, themselves and all of that kind of stuff at that time. Hang on one second, y'all. All right, y'all. But Mike, how long you been out, bro? You say you think about it regularly. How long has it been? Yeah, definitely been, man. BlackBerry, all the game. And the thing about it's because, okay, number one, I think very logically. So even in emotional situations, I think very logically. So I was catching her in a lot of the lies and stuff, because just off of thinking with logic. A narcissist, they want you to be emotional. They want to catch you in your emotional state. And if you can figure out a way to use your logic, you will beat them all the time. Nah, not reason with them, Mike. Nah, I'm saying use your don't use logic to argue with them and going back and forth with them. But I'm saying you'll catch them in their lies and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they won't be able to pull a fast one on you if you're using your logic. But if you're using emotions, that's when they going, that's when they can attack. That's even in her getting me into the situation, I was emotional about it, right? It wasn't like when I was thinking logically about the situation. Nah, I had been dealing with her 10 years, and I had been using logic all of that time. The last time is when I actually started kind of falling for it. And it was kind of like that third time is a charm type of situation. So again, I'm looking at it like from the standpoint of us knowing each other from childhood, being, like elementary school, kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth grade. I'm looking at the upside to the fairy tale, I guess. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like a fairy tale made in heaven. Like, okay, we, like I said, we linked up when we were kids, lost contact, linked back up when we were 30s. She had a rough life. I had a rough life. We came together. We had children, or we had a child together, and we made, you know, um, just a beautiful situation out of it. I wasn't, I was thinking of it more so from that standpoint. But she had another agenda. Yeah, strengthen that nervous system. Listen, with the nervous system, she had me so messed up, y'all, that I was messing up. Like, I have a job. that is very technical. Like I have to be very accurate on my job. And she had me mentally so messed up with all of the lies and stuff that she was telling. And then just with all of the other stuff that I was finding out about the situation, like, hold on, wait a minute, like, so, like when I started just putting all of the pieces of the situation together, it drove me damn near crazy, y'all. And it not only did it drive me, that's why I created this channel. I created this channel because I knew that there was other people out here like me that didn't have a voice, that didn't know what was going on, and didn't know, like, it took me 39 years to figure out this is what was happening. This is what narcissism is. This is what this is. So the fact that it took me this long, and the fact that I had the knowledge now, and it was so many other people that didn't have the knowledge. And if y'all go back to my like previous videos and stuff like that, I am very camera shy. I'm getting used to you guys now. I'm getting like, I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable with you guys now, especially doing this live and getting to chop it up with you guys and stuff like that. But like I said, this is my very first live. I don't do cameras at all. I grew up in that era where when you point a camera at somebody, like, you could get, you could have problems pointing a camera at somebody. So I just wanted to come on here and just get a little more comfortable talking to you guys just in front of the camera and just doing live videos and all of that kind of stuff anyway. But yeah, man, it's dealing with these narcissists, it's a mess. I ain't gonna. That's called ruminating. You fell in love with you absolutely right. Like when they mirroring you, all you doing is falling in love with yourself. They giving you back. They showing you. So when everything that you feel like you loved about that narcissist is really you. It's really yourself. For real. Yeah. I had to learn that, like, and when I started realizing, like, damn, I mean, because one thing about it is you'll realize your worth after, especially because you start to realize like all of the things that you were actually bringing to the table, even to the narcissist, whether they appreciated it or not. You'll find your own self-worth. That's one of the things that I noticed just going through this. I mean, it's painful, but you'll see your value after all of that. And I think that's part of it. It's spiritual, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many of y'all really feel like this is spiritual warfare? Yeah. Even the smallest nice thing. Absolutely. It's definitely spiritual. I don't care, like, so you gotta look at it like this. So they say narcissism is a mental illness. Like if but the deeper and deeper you dig into it, you see that this is all spiritual. This is all, this spiritual warfare. It's literally like good versus evil. It's literally like God versus the devil. Like it literally is. Yeah, Mike. The victims of narcissists tend to be empathic or empathetic, yeah, or codependent. Yeah, like borderlines, all that type of shit. They on top of them too. Yeah, light and dark, actually. It is Satan workers and God's work. You know what that like when I first um realized what was happening, it scared me, but then it gave me a certain like it gave me a calm over the situation because I knew for sure what side of the fence I was on after all of this. I knew for sure that like I was rocking with God. I knew for sure like God had me close the whole time. So I always felt like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you got so after dealing with narcissism, you start learning about chosen people and chosen ones and things like that. And I'm sure you guys have stumbled across a lot of those videos about chosen ones and all of that kind of stuff. And I honestly believe that a lot of us that have been through narcissistic abuse is definitely chosen for something. Like God has a purpose for us, and that's one of the reasons why they attack us the way that they do. The knocks knee impacts, absolutely. Hang on, I'm trying to get caught up on some of y'all comments. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I almost lost my job behind us. Like I was going, like I said, I have a real technical job. I have a very, I have, I have to be very accurate on my job. Like I have to be extremely accurate. And if I mess up something, then it could lead into um, all types of negativity, court cases, and all of that kind of stuff. I got that type of job. So um, as I started going through narcissistic abuse, and before I knew what it was, I didn't really know how to combat it. I didn't really know how to defend myself against everything that was happening. So that's when I was saying I was like acting more out of my emotions rather than like using my logic. So she would do certain things to trigger me, and I would like act out in that, and I didn't realize like it was tangling me more and more and more into that web. So like that's why you have to like just distance yourself and get completely away from the situation. When you like they say, when you know, you go. When you get out and stay out. Like as soon as you find out that this is what you're dealing with, you got to get out and you got to stay out, because the longer you stay, the more and more you'll be like tangled into that web. So that's what was happening before I understood what narcissism was. Uh, I wasn't trying to save like the relationship for her sake. I wanted to save everything for my son's sake, because I wanted to have my children under one household. Like that's always been my dream, to have my children and have them under one household and all of that kind of stuff. And on my end, I had done everything correctly. That's what I felt like. I had, got my home, and I wasn't depending on anybody else to help me in my home and all of that kind of stuff. And then she just came along, and I'm thinking, okay, she'll be a nice addition to like bringing her in and then having my child and all of that kind of stuff. But then, like I said, the day of, she just boom. She was at my house like every single day before she got pregnant. And then as soon as she got pregnant, boom, she ghosted me the whole pregnancy. Was never came around no more. And so I'm like, you want me, like, I ain't been chasing you all this time. Like, now you want me to chase you after you got pregnant? Like, you've been around me for like 10 years. I haven't chased you at all up to this point. But now you want me to start chasing you? And she was like, this is kind of, again, where I started knowing that it was a lot of games, because again, I had never had to chase her before that. But as soon as she got pregnant, she started saying stuff like, well, it's good for a woman to feel wanted too, and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I always showed you that I wanted you as far as, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff go. So I don't even know where that's coming from. Like, but it's like now all of a sudden, like our whole relationship, everything that we've ever done with each other or any of that kind of stuff has been at my house. But now all of a sudden you're pregnant and now you want me to come to your mom's house. Like you don't even have your own place, but you want me to come to your mother's house to interact with you and your mother and all of that. So basically y'all can gang up on me. So that's basically what it was. It was just trying to they wanted to pull me out of my element to pull me into their element where they felt more comfortable with their abusive tactics. See, here, like in my home, I don't have to worry about that. Like, I'm going to just tell you, Shawty, you got the roll. Like, it is what it is. But there, they feel like they got more control over me. And so that's basically, they try to use that. They try to use the fact that, you know, they ganged up against me. Their whole family pretty much ganged up against me in the situation. Let's see what y'all talking about. No room for a cloud in my absolutely. The energy accounted for they mad. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, she was, listen, she was tight the other day when I wouldn't speak to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she pulled up and she wanted to argue about that hat situation with my son. And I'm like, listen, number one, you know, you've had a year and a half almost to say anything of substance, anything that will make the situation any better than what it is, and you chose not to. You chose to let a year and a half go and gave me the silent treatment the whole time. Now you want to argue with me about a hat? And the hat is in the bag. I washed it for you like a responsible parent would and put it in the bag. Like, now you want to argue with me about that though. It's crazy. I mean, was going off like, just because you didn't buy the hat doesn't mean that you should be careless with it and da 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 da. And I'm like, careless? Like, first of all, you want to make this into a competition about who buys what. I don't care about, you know, arguing back and forth with you about who buys what. I know what I buy my son, and it is what it is. I love for my son to look nice and all of that kind of stuff, and I would love to send him home in the stuff that I buy for him if I knew it was going to come back. I wouldn't have no problem sending her, stuff, but like I said, I send her new clothes, new shoes, new this, new that, and I might not ever see it again. Like, I don't know what she's doing with it. I don't know if she's actually letting them wear it. I don't know if she's throwing it away because I bought it. I don't see it anymore. And if I do see it, it's damaged. Like, I would buy certain shirts and stuff for him, and like I said, she would wash them, bleach them, get them all faded, and then send those back to me. But I'm like, okay, well, what about all the other stuff that I've gotten? What about all the other sweatsuits and tennis shoes and this, that, and the third, all of that kind of stuff that I bought? Like, what's going on? Uh, yeah. Okay. So Mike, yeah, you say 10 years. 10 years is a nice little while, um, and it was an off and on 10 years too. So it wasn't, a complete 10 years, but it was definitely off and on. Oh yeah, she probably definitely destroyed it on purpose. Because okay, so when she pulled up the other day and she's yelling about the clothes, the first thing she's like, "Oh, just because you didn't buy it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I said, obviously, you either have been looking at my social media or you have somebody else looking at my social media telling you that I bought him some new clothes and stuff like that. So obviously that was just her way of letting me know that she saw that I had been getting my son some nice stuff and wasn't sending it home to her. Uh, hey y'all, so much love to y'all for rocking with me, man. I just wanted to tap in with the family real quick, talk to you guys real quick, and just let you guys know what was going on with that situation, because it kind of it's been bothering me kind of all week, and I kept it to myself, but I was up tonight and I said, let me just go live for the first time and see what you guys are talking about, see who is actually up and active on the channel, and just tap in with you guys real quick. But man, I love you guys so much, man. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, so I can link up with you guys a little bit later. If you want to join the Facebook group, come on over, man. I would love to see y'all over there. I'm gonna be going live and doing videos and all of that kind of stuff there as well. But yeah, much love to you guys, man. So much love to y'all. I will talk to y'all later. If I can figure out how to end it.